Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my first impressions on the Hifiwalker H2, and I'm sorry about my voice. You can very noticeably hear that something's wrong with it, and that's because I just got my braces taken out, so I will have kind of a lisp on a lot of stuff because it's hard to get used to retainers. They are kind of annoying to talk with. I will hopefully get used to it within a couple of days, but again, right now I'm just not fully used to it. But I want to talk about the Hifiwalker H2 with Rockbox installed because almost everybody I've seen on like YouTube and Reddit has Rockbox installed on this thing, and it looks good. It works really, really well. I really like it. Rockbox is kind of the Linux of the digital audio player OS world because it's very easy to customize almost anything on it when it comes to like themes and stuff, and you can get like an equalizer running pretty easily and gapless playback, and overall it looks really, really good, and I like it a lot. I do have one major issue with it though, and that is related to album art. A lot of people have this issue as well, where it'll just straight up not show the album art sometimes. And in my case, it's not showing it even when it's not embedded in the file, which I know is an issue with Rockbox as well. But now there is an option, at least I don't know if this was an option before, but you can choose to prefer embedded album art, but I don't have that selected. I have the other option selected to prefer the just the regular image file on the part of the album I want to listen to, or not on the part of the album, but on the album itself. And let me go to an example of an album that isn't showing the album art properly, even when it is in there. This very well, again, could be due to the fact that the album art just isn't being read properly, or it might be due to the fact that it needs to be resized. I know that this is also a problem with Rockbox where you need to, most of the time, resize an album art to 600 by 600 pixels. I'm not sure if this is still like a bottleneck that you need to do, but it is kind of annoying because I will have to find every single album art that isn't working properly and then change it and resize it, which is a little annoying. But the weird thing is that at least when I go on Windows, some of the album art that is showing properly shows on Windows at least to be 1500 by 1500, like above 600 by 600, like handily, and it still shows it. So again, I don't know why it just won't show album art sometimes, but let me go to like an album by like Weezer, where the album art's right there. You can see it. Cover is right here. Again, it might be too big. That's probably why it's not showing, but even then, again, like some album art shows perfectly fine, even with a large album art file. And then when I go to play this one, it just doesn't show the album art. I have it enabled. It should show. It shows it for, let me go back to another Weezer album. Let me go to like Maladroit, another really, really good Weezer album. Let me go to this one, and it'll show the album art. Look at that. It's not the biggest deal in the world, honestly, that it's not showing it sometimes, but I would like to get it to show for every album I have. And the reason why I say it's not like the big deal is because the Hifiwalker H2 has a really potato-y kind of screen when it comes to looking at album art. It's good when looking at text, like you can very clearly see this, although it does have a very big glare. My camera has a very big glare because I do have my fan on, or not my fan on, my lights on, so yeah. Can't really see it all that clear, but again, trust me, in person, it is very, very clear to see. But when it comes to album art, it is very, very difficult to see like text on it because again, the screen is just not that high res. So again, it's not the biggest deal in the world because even when you do have the album art enabled and you can see it, it still doesn't look all that great. So again, not the biggest deal in the world, but I would like to be able to show the album art for every single album I have on it. And it does suck that I will probably have to go one by one, having to search for album art that does show and then doesn't show, and then having to resize it every time. Maybe there's an easier way to do it. If any of you guys know an easier way to like resize almost any album art that you have, like in like a group or something, like all at once, that would be nice. But again, overall, even with that nitpick out of the way, it is still a really, really good OS where, again, you can customize everything. I do have a custom theme on it, and it does look really, really cool, in my opinion. And you do have a lot of options as well, which I like playback settings. You can change like shuffle, all that. But I do also like that you can change like the EQ. There's like DAC options, crossfeed, dithering, like almost everything you would want in a customizable OS. So that's really, really cool. And again, theme settings. It's also very, very easy to install Rockbox. Like, it takes like a total of like 10 minutes tops, probably like 5 minutes for people that are actually experiencing this stuff. But again, overall, really, really good. MP3 player lasts a long time as well. Like, the battery basically almost hasn't drained at all. I'm not the biggest fan of how it looks. I like just generally how an iPod looks a lot better. I think it looks cleaner. It's not as cluttered as this looks. But it still looks fine. It gets the job done. And again, for an MP3 player where I'm just trying to not be distracted by like phone calls and stuff like I am on my phone, it works for that. And again, the sound quality, or not, again, I didn't really talk about this yet, but the sound quality is good. It works. It sounds good. Overall, again, good MP3 player. Like it a lot. Again, we'll try to find a way to get all the album art working. But again, works pretty well, even out of the box, with a few minor issues related to album art, and that's kind of it. But besides that, that is basically going to be it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.